Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I know that, dude.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Everyone get out!
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. Does the real world seem unsatisfying?
It's boring, but it's part of my life.
Well, time to level up and reboot reality. Join Toxic Mike and Demonoid as they explore the ever-evolving world of virtual reality and everything it has to offer. Whether you're just starting out or you've been there from the beginning, Reboot Reality will introduce, educate, and guide you to the best in VR. Find it wherever you get podcasts at toxicradio.net or on the free Toxic Radio app. Reboot Reality. Log in and get immersed. You know what all the cool kids are doing these days? Listening to podcasts. And what does Toxic Radio have? Podcasts, duh.
Just as I thought.
Go to toxicradio.net and check out our weekly schedule for the lineup of great shows. Miss any of them live? No worries.
Thank God, dude.
We're on all the top podcast platforms, or just find them at toxicradio.net or on the free app. The choice is yours. Be cool or not.
We're gonna be cool.
Toxic Radio. Get the podcasts. Get infected.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Greetings, salutations. Happy Record Store Day. It's the theme here today. For those of you that don't know, I'm not a huge, I haven't been a huge record store fan probably in a long time. I've bought CDs mainly directly from the bands a lot of times when I buy stuff now, and but it's a lost art, man. There's the whole Record Store Day behind it is the idea about it. It started 2006, 7, something like that. I can't remember exactly when. I'm not an aficionado on this at all, but I know that we are definitely doing a I'm sorry, I'm getting texts here from people. Anyways, got sidetracked. We are definitely in support of Record Store Day. I mean, get out to your local or just hotspots. You know, you vinyl guys have your hotspots. You know, like in a 6-state radius where you're going to go if you're going to be in town. You know what record stores you're going to hit already. But definitely, if you're home and you're supporting, Record Store Day, this is the day you want to get out and do it. We are actually being broadcast. I should say, I'm sorry, we are being broadcast here on Toxic Radio. We are being simulcast on Philly Rock Radio. And in Philly Rock Radio today, they've been doing a big thing on the entire Record Store Day and how it's going and all. And they have been able to be broadcast, and we're going to give out a shout out right now to the Record Museum in West Berlin, New Jersey on Cushman Avenue. And this is a record store that is supportive of Philly Rock Radio, and they are in turn broadcasting our show here today live in their studio, in their store. So to the patrons and the owners of the Record Museum in West Berlin, New Jersey, hey, welcome to the show. I'm going to do my best to not cuss as much because I hear that I'm on in the record store. So no promises, no guarantees. You might want to turn the volume down a little bit and a little bit more. I know you guys just got done listening to Jimmy Red Hot, who did his 60-minute metal on a 3-hour expansion today and was completely outrageously, as per usual. I mean, he does his 60-minute metal show, and it's always deep cuts of metal, and it's always all over the fucking place. But he just did 3 hours of, he started with The Cure. This is a 60-minute metal guy, Jimmy Red Hot, Jimmy Adolf, this guy, okay? He started off with The Cure, and rolled directly into now my mind's drawing a blank of who. Oh, right into Aldanova. And it continued that way for 3 hours. And man, he took me on a journey today on my 3-hour journey up here to Toxic Radio, via 95. He took me on a journey, man, that was really cool. So Jimmy, I appreciate what you do, dude, and big shout out. And again, big shout out to the Record Museum in West Berlin, man. Just support your local businesses in general, but definitely, support your local record stores. Get out there, buy their product. There's lots of things that are available only on Record Store Day. There's a lot of freebies and stuff like that. There's, for music people, this is the day to get out. And, I've got a lot of friends that collect vinyl, and until recently, I really hadn't had a reason to. But I'm starting to kind of come along and remember that vibe of vinyl when I was a little kid, you know what I mean, and the scratchiness and everything else. So there is nostalgia to it, and I've been lucky recently. My good friend Scarlett Rowe, who is a local musician in the tri-state areas, he's been on the show here he snuck in as a guest one day. Surprised the hell out of me. It was great. He gave me a vinyl when he was here. One of the bands that he's in is called Smash Fashion, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It was really, really cool. And I thought to myself, it's one of the coolest gifts that anybody's ever given me, and I don't have a way to listen to it. I mean, I can listen to it on other platforms, obviously, but I don't have a way to experience the vinyl. And then just recently in the mail, Disciple, who is a really good band that we like. It is a Christian metal band that my wife turned me on to. We're part of their fan club, and they sent 3 vinyls reissued, 3 of their old albums on vinyl, and I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to find things that I really want to listen to. So, Record Store Day, all this nostalgia today has just really got me. It's like, okay, I need to go buy a turntable. I need to go buy a system again like I had in 1985, and but better, hopefully. I remember, the Emerson systems that I think I got when. Anybody remember those? The Emerson systems? They were like the cheap knockoff versions, like, of systems that you could get. But I mean, yeah. Jamie's like, yep. But, that was like one of the first big systems I bought, and it had big speakers and all the individual components. And there you are. We've got the TV screen now set up that's like directly in front of me, and it cuts me off from seeing anybody in the control room. But, Jamie and I are figuring out hand signals because I can go like this, and you all can't see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. It's good. I like it. I kind of like it. It's okay, Jamie. We'll figure it out, brother. So yeah, it's Record Store Day, y'all. And again, get out, support your local businesses, your local record stores, and just make a day of it. Plan on it. They do it. This is like, from what I understand, this is the main day each year. They do it in the spring, and then they do other record store days throughout the year. I think there's like 1 or 2 other ones, one in the fall maybe, and something else. But again, this is something that I'm just starting to get into because, I have some friends that are big fans of vinyl and big fans of Record Store Day. And it's cool. It's cool. So get out, support, do your thing. On the show today, very shortly here, we're going to be speaking to Mr. Ashton Blake. He's the lead singer of the band Native Sons. He's been on the show before. One of our early shows that when Mike Badaracco was still here as my guest host, or not my guest host, sorry, co-host. We had him on, and really just, loved the guy's personality, loved, just talking to him. He seemed like a real genuine guy. And then I saw him at a BLE show in Maryland where it was one of the Sunday shows, one of the free Sunday shows. And they blew me away live. They're a really good band live. They're in this really old school vibe of, there's definitely like an 80s metal influence, but they have this southern rock influence that comes from the geographically from where they're from. And
he's on,
and he's on now. Cool. Well, we'll do that. That's awesome. We're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna go with Ashton Blake here. Hook it up, Ashton.
Hey Will, how's it going?
Good, brother. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. Just hanging out on this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. How's the weather?
Oh, it's great. It's one of the best days we've had probably all spring.
Well, I won't keep you too long, man. I'll let you and the dog hang out. I know that's your thing, so it's all good. But how you been, man? It's been a while since you and I've talked. How's it going?
It's been pretty good. Pretty good. We've been rocking and rolling the last few months. I think you mentioned the BLE show. we're pretty excited about the shows we've got coming up as far as being with BLE and the Masquerade and some other different festivals we're on Wampus Cat. So we're just kind of enjoying the downtime. We did every weekend in April, and now I think we're going to do another single and another video. So hopefully that'll be coming out next month.
Yeah, since you brought that up right away, we don't have. I've got the CD, the full length from last year. I don't have the new one here at the studio, so we didn't have that in time. I didn't choreograph it well. Again, I'd said to you earlier, it's like this has been a crazy week, man. But we have the first CD in there. We're gonna play some stuff from that later. But that new one, Drama, man, that's really, really good. It's I think I messaged you when you popped it up there. I was like, you could just tell that was something that was personal to you. That wasn't like sometimes you write what you feel, other times you write what you see. This was one of those ones where I could tell lyrically with you, especially, it was like, okay, this is a bit personal. There's something, a little bit more to the way this one was written, and I just wanted you to know when that came out, I was like, I got that. You know what I mean? Like, I got that right off the bat. I was like, okay, there's a message here that's trying to come through, man. So, yeah,
There was a lot.
Go ahead.
There was a lot of personal stuff in the new stuff. We don't have a CD with it yet. We just have the one single. We're gonna do singles for a while.
That's good. I mean, dude. It sounds amazing. You guys hooked me with the CD last year, and then when you popped this one, I was like, oh yeah, okay. All right, they've been hanging out and doing some things, and it's like I really like it. I can't wait for another full length. Or are you doing another? It's another full length coming out, correct?
Yeah. There's another full length album coming out probably in August, sometime.
Nice. I'll have a birthday.
It's called Shadowhead.
Nice.
So,
I'll have a birthday present for myself then. That's perfect.
nice.
Yeah. So it's you've been busy, man. Let's talk about your upcoming shows. Let's talk about Masquerade, obviously, because of the area where we're at in South Jersey and Philly area here. That's a big thing for the listeners that we have. So let's touch base on that. That's the 3-day festival that Bradley Entertainment's putting on. It's a Thursday, Friday, and a Saturday, I believe. There's a showcase that's going on a Thursday, and then it's a 2-day festival. And it's up in Philly at Club 2300, I believe.
Yep, 2300 Arena.
All right, and I'm going to let you take it from there because that's like the information that I can remember offhand right away, and I don't want to screw something up. And I'm sure you got a dialogue going, so you can take it from here.
Well, we were part of Masquerade last year. We were super excited. We've kind of become really good friends with Brad Lee over the course of the year that we were in. Touring around in the East Coast, and then we were sad to see it be postponed, but it just seems like it's bigger and better than it ever was. Like he's got Autograph, he's got Hurricane, he's got Steven Adler's from Guns N' Roses on Friday. I think Autograph and Hurricane and Tora Tora, and we're on Saturday as well. All those bands are EMN, Resist and Bite. So it's pretty cool to see this festival and how it's really come to fruition, because we played a show with Resist and Bite. They became instant friends of ours. I talked with their bass player or their drummer a lot. I guess EMN, we've done some shows with them last year, Kickin' Valentina. So it's kind of like a family reunion show for us, I guess. Wampus Cat is going to be kind of the same way. I think some guys from Zenora are on that one. We're on the Sunday on Wampus Cat. That's our next show that we've got going on, which the owner or one of the event organizers of that was actually at one of BLE's shows. So it's kind of like it's how all these different people connect, and it's really cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's BLE events have always been built on a family environment. It's from day one, when he started doing shows way back to his first Sleazy Slimy Sunday. It was a family environment. There was a lot of people locally, especially because of where he started out at, and people really both fans and bands alike, when you come into a situation like that where you're treated like family right off the bat, you know what I mean? As long as you're professional. I mean, let's get it straight. This isn't something where it's like everybody that comes down the pike's going to be able to do whatever. But if you're a professional band and you take yourself seriously, the family that surrounds organizations, businesses like BLE is constantly there. And as long as you, as a promoter, whoever you are, putting on that kind of caliber show that fans want to see, then that vibe's going to continue. It's always going to continue. It started as a family vibe. There's always a new influx of people that come to the shows, but ultimately it's that core central family. The same family that we have here at Rock Metal Records and Rock Metal Radio. It's the same family that surrounds itself around BLE, around Dave Dillman, Detoxin, a couple of these other guys that are here, regionally, locally started out. So it's one big family that supports a bunch of different sides of things, and it's not like it's great because the family itself is the big deal. They don't just come out and support, okay, well, we're just going to support BLE and what they do. They find a band in there that they like. They go, well, not only we're supporting BLE, now we're going to support this band. You know what I mean? And okay, well, I met this guy from, I met Will from Toxic Radio, and, I'm going to support this guy. So it's just an extension. They don't just support one thing. They support the whole thing, and that's something I've preached about for a long, long time, and myself and others, not just myself, but it's that camaraderie, that old school grassroots, back to the days of handing out flyers where you talked to everybody you met about your band and you had something to say and they had ears to listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like that's still very much a viable source of a way to get your music into people's hands. Is word of mouth is still good. It's all about who hears you at the right time, and it's like Brad Lee gave us a chance back in, I think we were in May of 2021, and it's just been a reoccurring, doing business with him, and on a personal level and on a business level, it's really cool to be a part of that kind of community and be accepted into the family almost.
Yeah.
And you guys helping us out, being on the show as well.
Well, believe me, I appreciate your time when you come on, and it means a lot to me, especially this week. Like I said, it's been so hectic, and you've been very accommodating. And when I've kind of like forgot to send something or done something, it's just like, oh, geez. But no, I appreciate first and foremost you as a person. There's a way that people hold themselves sometimes when you meet them for the first time, and the first time I met you was via this same format here. And then I met you briefly at the Sunday show, and it was just like, okay, meeting you in person confirmed my beliefs of meeting you here, on a video. It was like, okay, he's a genuine guy, you know what I mean? He loves what he's doing. I'm a big fan interaction type guy. So if you're a band, especially one that's up and coming, and you haven't learned this lesson yet, it should be lesson one. When somebody walks up to you, I don't care if you played for a room of 5 people and only one person in that room walks up to you and goes, hey man, I really dig what you've done. Spend an hour and talk to them. You know what I mean? Do the things that you have to do. Again, it's all that grassroots thing, and you guys do that really well. I watch you guys do it. I watch you do it on social media platforms. You know what I mean? You do a really good job of it, especially you. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody else in your band, but you're a workhorse in this band. This has been your baby for a while, and I want to be able to acknowledge that with you, because you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, like real musicians do, honestly. And I'm not smacking. I don't want to get a bunch of shit, but I'm not smacking any other musicians around. But it's a beautiful thing to see when a band is learning how to not just get their music out there, but to connect individually with the people that are listening to it. Some bands get it, some bands don't. And the ones that don't, that's a big thing that they lack. You know what I mean? When you're trying to build that support, you guys are great at it. You guys it's awesome.
I appreciate that. I think I've been touring around and being in different bands since I was like 19, and I think it was up and recently I was like, I want to start a band that is all about the music and is all about I guess just capturing that fan base and really because it's the fans that keep us on the road. It's the fans that are buying the tickets. It's like I was talking to a buddy of mine, and they were like, "Will you sign with anybody?" I said, if it benefits us to get in front of more people and be able to, grow our fan base. But it's like it's about that. I guess I've been spoiled with the people that are around me. It's like it's that family thing. It's like if they're willing to work and they're willing to do things, and I think you're right. A lot of bands, that start out kind of stumble around a little bit, and I owe a lot of my success to Bill Chavis and a lot of the people around me who have definitely given me the tools and the know-how to continue in a manner that I want to. So I guess I appreciate you saying that I'm a workforce in this band, and I try to keep it going and just keep playing shows because I want to be there for the fans. I don't believe in missing shows. It's like I'd play every single day if I could. But you got to give away time for writing and just personal time. But yeah, I would say that I thoroughly enjoy the fan interaction. Uh, you know, I think it was in Georgia the first time that I seen someone learn the lyrics to all my songs, and they were singing right along with me, and it was just it's moments like that that I really love, and it's like it's all the 9 hour drive, the blood, sweat, and tears are all worth it at that point. To
Yeah.
see the fans and their reaction.
Yeah, you bring that you bring that up that point in particular. And I talked about it on one of my shows previous. I manage a band back in Maryland called Smoke and Crow. Currently a outlaw country, southern rock cover band, both current and old, of those genres. But they also are writing original material. And they had their first big rock show. It was like 300 people. They were one of two bands that was on the bill, and they brought their crowd. And they had a moment. We had just released their original month or so prior to the show, and we pushed it really hard, and it really got out there pretty good, for a no band that nobody'd ever heard of. And so they were singing that song. They got to that part in the song, and granted, it's a local base, we're talking about here, but they started singing their song "Open Road" back to him, and I talked to the guys after the show, and they were just like, "Dude, did you hear them?" You know what I mean? It was one of those moments. So from an outside sort of inside perspective, I know exactly what you're talking about, because even for me as a guy that manages the band, for me to be in the crowd and hearing them around me singing the song back up to him, it's like I took a little piece of that. I mean, vicariously through them or whatever. I was just like, holy shit. I mean, it was like it was really cool. So I love when you guys have moments, when any artist has those moments on stage, whether it be a fan singing the lyric back to him, or somebody else described it too another way. It's like you could be looking out in that crowd and you're singing a song, and there's this guy in the front row that maybe he's not singing it because he doesn't know it, but he's grooving along, he's digging the lyric, he's digging the vibe, and you just see the emotion on his face. Little things like that. I tell the guys all the time, it's like when you see somebody in the crowd like that, remember, they could be having the shittiest of shitty days, and they walked into a bar and they walked into a joint, and you're playing a song that they're vibing on and they're really, really getting it. It's like, look that guy in the eye. You know what I mean? Make him connect more, bring him in deeper, and I love seeing moments like that. And that to me is a test of a true artist too, because you can write great songs, you know what I mean? But you have to be engaging, especially live. And again, you're another one of those guys and one of those bands and those projects. You guys do that really well, man. So it's cool to see. I love watching bands that are coming up that they get their purpose, they get where they're going, they have that goal. It's set. They realize there's little goals to get to the main one, but there's a goal.
Yeah.
And it's good to see. It's good to see young guys like yourselves. I'm 52, so to me, you're a young man, and it's good to see a young guy like yourself. Just diving in full speed ahead and smiling the whole way and taking it on and just going, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Well, man, I appreciate that. It really is. I really feel like it's what I was meant to do. Is be an artist. It's moments like you're talking about, like you see that guy who's having a crappy day, and like there was a guy in Detroit the last time we were there. He was in the front row, he was just kind of watching. But by the end of it, he was like rocking out, fist pumping, and it was. I think it's because like my bass player and I was like, you got to look at it, look them in the eye to the point of uncomfortability, because you're on the stage, you're there to entertain people,
Yeah.
not just play great songs, but and write great songs, but you're there to entertain and make people, forget about their that fight they had with their girlfriend, or that fight they had with their boss, or the traffic that it took to get there. It's like we've had shows where like, yeah, just play an hour. We end up playing over an hour because we just love to play. And that,
Yeah.
like, I would rather play shows where I play 2 hours, of original music than to take a show for 30 minutes, because I just love to play, love to be on the stage and get that crowd interaction. And it's been really cool. It's been really
Mhm.
cool this last few weeks.
Well, I always look at musicians as poets, whether they're writing a song lyrically or whether they're writing musically. I mean, you guys are at the end of the day, you're poets. It's what you do. It's just a different means of poetry. It's not in a book in print. You know what I mean? It's being put down on tracks for the world to hear. And again, that vibe that we all talk about all the time, that kinetic energy that passes between a performer and a fan. Um, when you have shows that are off. Everybody has off shows. You know what I mean? Maybe the energy in the room's not quite right. I mean, the band can go in full steam. A good band can go in full steam ahead and even take a room that doesn't necessarily have a vibe and grab it by the balls and make it vibe. You know what I mean? When I got to see you guys live again, that's always the test for me. It's like I'd heard you on the CD first. Mike had introduced me to the project and the band, and I was like, oh, this just sounds really good. For me, it's always test. It's proof positive in the live, and you guys did not disappoint. You came out high energy, and that was a rough weekend. That was a rough weekend for the band. It was a rough weekend for music fans, and there was a lot of things that were going on that weekend, and some things that happened to you guys on the way down, and just like still, you guys jumped up on stage and put on a fucking rock show. You know what I mean? Just ah,
Yeah, so that was the one where we hit the deer.
yeah. That was the deer incident.
That was that was I thought, I guess whenever we hit the deer, I thought, oh well, it's over now. There's no way for us to get there, and we were willing to take Ubers. It was gonna, I think it would end up costing $200 a car, so I was like, $400, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like missing shows. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the whole experience. But Bill Chavis actually drove two of his own cars up
Yep.
to come get us, and that
Yep.
it's stuff like that that's that yeah, stuff like that that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, and we'll touch on Bill. I wasn't as close to him as you and Brad and some of the other guys were, but I had a chance to actually sit with him in his home one day, and we talked about things for a couple hours. Just cool. It was just kind of cool to hang out with him and see where he was as far as, it's funny. It's like some people really well, and other people you kind of watch from afar, and you can appreciate what they do. There was a lot of things that Bill was doing with Highball that I'm trying to incorporate into, Rock Metal Records, the record label side of what I do. And, just some of his ideas and some of the things that we just talked about on that one day. I mean, we talked at shows here or there, you know what I mean? But there was this one day in particular that I had to sit down with him. And, man, his two things, his passion and his tenacity. You know what I mean? It's like he'd been around a while. It wasn't like you were going to push this guy around, the old guard, so to speak, in the industry he wasn't gonna succumb to that. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, I may not be so and so up here on the ladder, but I don't care. I'm gonna still come and kick you in the balls and do what I got to do. And that was one of the big things that I got from him. So, I'm glad you brought up Bill, and I'm glad you brought him up twice now, because he was very big in what you're doing now. And for those that don't know, we lost him a year ago now, year and a half ago. I forget exactly the date, and I apologize.
It was I think it was September of last year, because it was before Monsters on the Mountain. We did that. I got the call while on the road. Him and Lori ended up passing 2 weeks after.
Yep.
And you brought up that he did have a lot to do with what Native Sons and a lot of our success. I give full credit to him for pretty much all of my career. I've been with him since I was 19 years old in different bands, playing with Rich Green and then playing. I was signed to him as a solo artist once before, doing some folk rock stuff. But I don't think it was until Native Sons that you know I was still finding my feet on those kinds of things. But he gave me a chance. Him and his wife, Lori, they were like family to me. It's the reason why I signed with him. So many times is because he was one of those people that wasn't going to take crap. He was going to go to bat for you. You just knew that he had your best interests out because he loved the music. He was all about his artists. He wasn't going to take any crap, but he was all about his artists. And I really respect the man.
Yeah, I do too, man. And I wasn't trying to take you back to any place, but I know he's special, and I wanted to be able to address that while we had you on the phone here and while we had you on the video.
I like talking about Bill because it keeps him in spirits.
Yeah, he's inspired a lot of heads, especially locally in the Maryland area. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that I know that have either taken a page from Bill or had worked directly with Bill. You know what I mean? He's left his imprint for sure on quite a few of us. So yeah, rest in peace, Bill and Lori. I miss him. I miss having him around. I miss that tenacity, that fire. It's one of those things you take for granted. It's like it's there. You know what I mean? And when it's not, it really shocks you. It really puts you in a certain perspective. You know what I mean? If you may even had one lane going at the particular time, and then something happens, it's just like any broken road. It's you're gonna go off. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. I always love to acknowledge stuff, like that Bill and Highball has done, and I hope to see that something comes of that label and that name at some point. I hope somebody does something with it. I don't know. I'm not privy to any of what goes on with Highball or anything, but hopefully, something goes on there. If you're into any information you can share, hey, share that too as well while we got you on the phone. If not, that's fine too. But.
Well, I'm not sure as if the family has any plans on continuing the label as of right now. We're doing everything ourselves as far as Native Sons goes. Like we have an independent, like the drama release was released independently. We went through a distribution service who got us onto Vivo. So we're a Vivo official artist now.
Nice.
Once Bill had passed, I think that the family just didn't. They chose not to go forward with any. I'm not sure if they'll pick it up at a later date. But they didn't tell me that they had any plans on picking up the label where it left off.
Right.
I went to Bill and Lori's wake and met the family again. I'd actually met them years prior at a Christmas party he invited me to. He's an amazing family. But we were releasing everything ourselves this year. It's all independent. I think our Vivo video hit 13,000 views.
Nice, dude. Nice.
In 2 weeks. So it's pretty cool that it seems like it's all working out as far as releasing it ourselves. We had several offers to sign with other people, but they weren't bad deals. They just weren't deals that we felt were right for us, because you got to choose what's right for you. Whatever you're trying to accomplish and whatever you're trying to do, a major label could come up to you, and if it's not what you're exactly wanting to do, then it's just that's just how it works sometimes. So we're doing everything independently right now. We might sign with somebody, but it seems like it's going pretty well just independently.
Good. I'm glad. Stay independent as long as you can. I mean, honestly, I'm a big fan of that. If you can, you know what I mean? If you can sustain it and you can do it yourself. I mean, granted, I've always looked at it in the punk sense, of the whole DIY or DIY or DIY, where you keep as much stuff of it in house as possible, because then you can control it. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
in years past with major labels, you were giving up something to be there. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying every artist ever has ever been compromised like that. I'm sure there's plenty that haven't, but to stay as independent as you possibly can for as long as you can, I think benefits you, especially considering, you're already building this momentum on your own. Technically, there's a lot of things you don't need a major quote unquote label to do for you. So now, the whole idea of everything's different in the business now. You know what I mean? The whole idea of a label, what a label actually is anymore, is completely different than it was 15, 20 years ago. It's completely different. So,
Yeah.
like when I
They
started
all do
the
different
record
things.
label, it's like it's not a traditional label in any sense of the word. You know what I mean? And currently there are 0 bands that are signed to this label. It's almost more of a cooperative. You know what I mean? Where it's the family extension, but it's the artist side of the family extension. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you look at the fan base that surrounds all these things that we've talked about, and you take those musicians or pieces of those musicians and you put them all together as a collective. You know what I mean? So it's more. I looked at it more like that when I wanted to start this label. It's like, let's just see who we can get to work together. Let's just see who we can do to team up for the greater good of it all. You know what I mean? Everybody pushes everybody. It's cool if you can do it yourself. Yeah. It's way more fun if you got some like-minded people that are like, let's do something. You know what I mean? Let's do that. If you can just connect those minds and connect those people, that's how it gets done.
And you're exactly right. I'm not hating on record labels. I guess saying we're independent, we're just staying independent because it's what's best for us. But you're right. It is about, you need that group of people that are going to get their, dig in and dig the ditches with you. And a record label definitely helps. Helps with that. And having people on your support team. We have tons of people that are supporting us, much like yourself, and Mike Battaraco and Sherry, and just, the list goes on and on. Locally and regionally, people that are helping us. So we're still reviewing offers and still getting offers all the time. But you're right. There's the way a record label was 15 years ago isn't what it is now. They all offer different things, and it's all what you what you're looking to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I don't claim myself to be a record label, like in any way, shape of the word. Yes, I have a business that I'm starting. It started as a record label. I've got a couple of musician friends of mine from different bands that I work with that wanted to be a part of it with me and try to start something, you know what I mean? And we all just push each other. That's all what it is. Would I like to have a band signed to the label? Sure. When I get to the point where I have a distribution type thing set up and I can do certain things for a band. But in the meantime, I just look for guys that are, creative artists that want to, hey, okay, I live here, but I'd love to come to Maryland and do something over there, you know what I mean? And give them those avenues. Just make it easier to do, you know what I mean, in a sense. So, I put, I'm not BLE by any means, but I put on small shows all the time. I have utilization of a studio that, I have a great friend that owns a studio, an actual studio where you can have a show with 50 people in it, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'll put on an intimate little show because it's cool. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, this huge thing, but I like my lane that I'm in. I like, grabbing bands that I think are really good bands, number one, and that to have a message within themselves, you know what I mean? And I love like saying, look, I can't guarantee you X amount of dollars, but if, there's this really cool thing that I'm doing, if you want to come play it, there'll be some money. I don't expect any band to come to anywhere without giving them something, you know what I mean? Because it's the machine, you know what I mean? It's the gas that feeds the machine. So I get all that, but it's like what you guys are doing and the way you're bouncing around and the clubs you're going bouncing around to and some of the bands that you're opening up for, and like Wampus Cat. I'll see you guys down there. I'm going for Wampus Cat. So I'll see you on the Sunday. But it's again, it's about getting all these bands together and that are very like-minded, and they don't even have to be from the same type of genres or anything like that. Just have to have the same collective interest to push an entire scene. We can all push our individual brands, and we will, but it's really cool when you get a bunch of people that can want to all push at the same time, you know what I mean, in far vast different directions than any one person would have thought they could have. So that's that's kind of what my take on it and all. So it's again, it's refreshing to see a guy like you. That's you get, number one, that it's a business. You understand that first and foremost, but you also understand that it's at the end of the day, it's your art, it's your message, and you won't be compromised. There's a certain thing that's going to have to come through in order for you to agree to anything, whether it be a record label or a management deal or anything. It's going to have to be able to coexist with who you are as a person. Not necessarily always in a business sense, but who you are as a person. And I get that about you. Again, this is what I do on this show, dude. I find artists that I really like, and I get them on here, and I praise the shit out of them. So I hope praise doesn't make you uncomfortable. I hope you're used to it at this point, because it's you're very talented yourself. The band you have around you is very talented. I'm really interested to watch this project to keep growing and growing, and I know it will. And I will do anything in my power as we go along. If, hey man, I'm coming through this way, can we talk in the radio show? By all means, reach out to me at any time. It's not a lot of consistency to my show lately. It's like I've been good the last couple of months or so, doing it every other week like I'm supposed to. But it's podcast. It's it happens. Things go on. But I got some other interesting things coming up that should make things a lot more interesting too, with all the other irons that I got in the fire. But so what other than the Masquerade, what other shows you got going in Wampus Cat? You mentioned that. What else you got going on this summer?
Well, we've got we're going to be in Cincinnati, Newport, Kentucky area at Southgate House Revival. It's a big church that they converted into like a concert hall. It's I think it was built in the 18th century or the early 19th century.
Sweet.
Then we're going to go down to Texas. We got some Texas dates. Then we're going to, in July, we're back in Michigan. We're going to go and open for George Lynch.
Nice, dude.
At the
Nice.
Ball. Yeah. So,
Nice. I'm a big fan.
We've got some other stuff that in the works as well. We got a Virginia date. I mean, everybody can find all our stuff in bands in town. You can find us there. You can go on our Facebook page, and all of it's updated. I mean, I'm on there pretty frequently. Like you said, this is a business, but it's a business of people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you really are the face of the business of Native Sons. I mean, that's everybody that I know that's jumped on this train with you in the last year has been, it's like we all kind of knew who you were first before we knew your band who it was, because you've put yourself out there that way. Again, it's a business, it's like to stay current. You gotta, and you may think to yourself sometimes, well, maybe I shouldn't do this so often. Maybe people are getting on people's nerves. No. You just keep plowing along. I love it when you do stuff though, because you keep them short. Like you're usually 3-4 minutes, you're out. You know what I mean? Like if you've got something important going on that you got to say, then it'll be a 10-15 minute one. But normally you time it perfect. You get on at the right time. I watch you, man. I see how you doing your thing, and you get on at the right time, and then you bounce off. So it's perfect.
Yeah, I don't like to keep people on there for 30 minutes. I want to say what needs to be said. If people are talking, then I'll take questions, and I like to to engage with people on live streams. It's pretty cool to see how their day's going. And I know my friend Mike always chimes in a little bit. And we got people from all over the world actually. Some woman in France, she watches, and I see a lot of different people from all over the world watching the live streams that I do, and it's really cool to have friendships with these people and see how their day is going too. But like you said, I don't try to sit on there for 30 minutes being like, let's get people in here right now. It's like they'll see the video.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people do when they're promoting their stuff. Nice. We got Beagle over there. Is that a Beagle? What is that? No, that's what you got next to you there, buddy?
It's Jack Russell.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I see him a little better now. Nice. I love dogs, man. Dogs are the shiz. There he is. Look at that. Doesn't want to look, huh? Doesn't want to be on camera. It's giving you
Miss
that.
Ghost.
Giving
She's
you
our
that.
road dog.
She's awesome. She's pretty. And she's totally not interested in anything we're doing. That's cool.
No.
All right, well, cool, man. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to plug or anything you want to say? I mean, this is the opportunity. You want to say whatever you want to say, do it. Here's your platform, brother. Do what you got to do.
I would I would say check out the new single. We're going to be in a town near you. Check out the bands in town, and always tune in to Toxic Radio.
My man, check you out. You're awesome. We know we're gonna isolate that later. Ashton, as always, dude, I appreciate your time. Anytime you want to reach out, talk shop, just bullshit, whatever, man, feel free. You got my number. Anytime you want to reach out and you got something to plug and you want to get on the radio show, just, hey, reach out. Not a problem at all. I dig what you do. I dig what your band does. And more importantly, I dig you as a person. So anytime, anything I can do to help, just reach out and say the word, man.
I appreciate it, brother. Thanks.
All right, brother. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get out there and enjoy the sunshine.
All right.
See ya. All right. Sweet. We took that right on up to the 3:30 mark. Just like we planned, right? We don't plan shit. It just worked out that way. So hopefully, that was a mellow side to the day. Not too much cussing for Record Store Day. Again, if you were listening, maybe you took my heat and turned the volume down a little bit. If not, I warned you. So it is 3:30. We're at the almost halftime show. It's the normal mark. We started a little bit late, but we keep it going around here. So without further ado or any at all, we have the halftime report with Mr. Mark Ozello. Mark, are you there, brother?
Yes, sir, Will. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I am doing good, man. Real good.
Awesome. I am, brother. I got some things to talk to you about, and I'm gonna preface this by, if you listen to the last 20 minutes of the show today, I'm gonna hint at some things, but man, things are lighting up. There are a lot of contacts being made. There are a lot of things that are happening and jumping. And I hope you as well are still experiencing that at the halftime there.
Yes, man. Things are going well. They're coming out. Things have changed dramatically over the last 3 to 6 months. So I'm very pleased. All the shows have been very strong, and it's almost like a rebirth type of thing going on right now. And I'm really excited about it. People are excited about it. People are coming out. And, with this mask thing and all these mandates and all that horse shit is kind of scooped under the carpet right now. But not to say that won't rear its ugly head at some point, as you and I have talked about in the past. We know the motivating factors, behind all of that.
Horse shit.
But I'm very optimistic about what's going on, what's happening, what I'm seeing, people coming out, having a great time, and really not just supporting, just the live music and halftime and pool and all the other things I do there, but just people out and about, going to restaurants and movie theaters and stuff and concerts. And, it's great. It's really great to see that again.
Yeah, the return to normal, if you want to call it that or whatever, as slow a process as it has been really a delight to see, like you said, everywhere, not just in, going to concerts, but people going back out, just getting outside, getting out and doing things and, mingling with each other again. It's safe, people. It's cool. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? It's like, just let's get on with it here. And I'm glad to see it coming back again. Yeah, there's things been lighting up like crazy lately that, within the industry, even just different people that I've talked to, and everybody's really, really feeling good about things at the moment. So here we go into late spring and summer. You know what I mean? We go into the concert season.
Oh, absolutely. And, here in the United States, things are really, booming and doing, well in terms of music and arts and theater and those types of things. But unfortunately, I'm noticing a lot of national acts canceling their Latin America tours, their European tours with all the turmoil overseas. That's very disappointing because these bands have pushed these tours off now, 2 years. And they're at the point where they're just saying, we're just going to give you your money back because we don't know when we can get back out, to Latin America or Europe. It's too messed up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's still some places that are where we were, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it's, like you said, it's disheartening to see, especially for the music community, that those bands aren't getting out across, abroad like that. But at the same time, the benefit side to it of us is there are lots of bands that are going to be out this summer in this country. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are going to be happening, and a lot of opportunities for local and unsigned bands to get on bills that are, necessarily they wouldn't be able to. I feel like there's the upside to that. You know what I mean?
There absolutely is, and you and I've talked about this. I'm just being inundated with bands wanting to, do a show at halftime, and I just can't accommodate all of the bands that want to perform, at the club. But I'm doing my best in terms of what I can do to put the right shows together at the right time, because it's all about timing and having the right bands on the bill.
Yep.
And without that, it's a recipe for disaster if you don't put the right bands together. You and I've discussed that before.
Yep.
And totally mixing genres is totally cool to do that. And it's okay. And I've done it. I'm doing it again tonight. And it's just something that I think we need to do more of. And it's okay to blend different flavors of music. Now, I wouldn't put a country band with a metalcore band,
Right.
but I'm saying you can put a hard rock band with a metalcore band. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
So you can't go too far out of the box, but you can do some different things. And I've been doing it, as and and that in tandem, with the tribute shows and some of the very few of the local bands that I book. It's just, it's terrific. I mean, last night's turnout was a prime example, of, a Friday night, just a lot of people coming out. The club was full. I have a band called Remedy out of the Philly market, and they are a tribute to the Black Crowes and Rolling Stones, and we call the show the Rolling Crows.
Nice.
So
I like it.
It's kind of cool. They do a big mashup, and it was great, man. The band is just an 8-piece band with 2 female backup singers who are awesome, and just a good time, man. Everybody had a great time last night.
That's awesome. That's good to hear, man. And honestly, the having, when you're saying you can put different genres or different styles of the same genre on shows together, it's like you totally can. And the music doesn't have to be exact at all. But what has to happen is those bands have to have this similar vibe within each other. The music doesn't have to be the same, but as long as they're vibing on the same frequency, you know what I mean? Then the show is just going to be amazing, no matter what you have on there.
Totally agree. And the energy coming off the stage is critical as well from the bands. Most of the bands are very energetic, especially metalcore projects. And, those guys, really, really go for it. But, and that translates right to the audience as well. So everybody feeds off of that, all that good stuff. And it just makes it for a really good night.
Nice. So I don't know if you were listening earlier, but today's show is being broadcast live within a place called the Record Museum in West Berlin, New Jersey. Are you familiar with that? It's a record store.
I am not, but I did hear just a glimpse before that, I kind of toned down the language today. I'm going to be a good boy because you told me to be a good boy. So I will.
Come on now. You don't have to tone.
Yeah, I know, but you toned it down too. So you know what, man? I'm just gonna take your lead on this one.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Vinyl is cool, man, and I know you've been discussing, vinyl and the differences with digital music and CDs and where we are now in the digital wave. I have about 500-600 albums sitting in my basement in storage. I have everything from Beatles records to Pink Floyd to Yes to Genesis to Queen, just all the good stuff from the 70s and 80s. And you had a point last time we spoke, and you had a couple guys on that we talked to briefly. the spectrum of sound that's coming off of a vinyl disc is totally different than when you're compressing this music into these files. The spectrum to my ears as a musician, as a producer and a songwriter, night and day, man. And you put a vinyl on, you put a record on, on a turntable, and you listen to it and you go, man, I didn't even realize that was even there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think interests me the most about me getting into that side of things now. And again, right now, you saying you have all those albums that are just sitting in your basement, I know of quite a few people that listen to my show that are probably salivating and trying to look you up right now going, where's your stuff, dude? Let me go through it. Let me pay you some money for your vinyl. Because that's how those guys are. You know what I mean? They're like, they hear somebody that's got vinyl sitting in their basement, and they're just like, why is it sitting in your basement? Let me come take that from you.
It's not up for grabs. It's not up for sale because you cannot put a dollar amount on that at all.
There you go.
At all, man. And I can remember, like, when I bought the first album, the Elton John album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, man, that double record, I had to, scrunch and save when I was just a little kid at 9 years old or, whatever. And $3.99 for a double album. But, I had to go to Corvettes, man, to go get it because it was on sale. But I have all those records, man. And I do spin them once in a while. I don't have a lot of time to do it.
Right.
But every now and again, I'll put something on. I'll put a Genesis record on, or Seconds Out, or, Dark Side of the Moon, or one of those just unbelievably well recorded and just unbelievably mastered records, especially Dark Side of the Moon, man. That's the benchmark for everybody to hit, in my opinion.
Well, that, and of course, don't fail to mention that if you're going to hit that on vinyl, you better get yourself a good set of headphones to listen to, because that's really the way you need to experience vinyl. From what I understand from all my vinyl nerd friends, that's the way to do it.
Headset is good. I have a couple of really good, good sets of phones, and I use Polk speakers in my house, and so it's pretty tuned in and it's pretty dialed in, and it's just great stuff, man. And even the Led Zeppelin collection, and Yes, and it's just amazing stuff, man. It's just I could sit here and talk to you about this for hours on end.
And we will do that. That's coming. I got a lot of things, dude, that are happening again. But I'll get into that later at the end of my show. What do you got going on this weekend, next weekend?
This weekend, I have two metalcore bands tonight. Super Terrific Action Team. They are out of New Jersey, kind of up where you're at right now, right in that area. I have another band that hasn't played in a while. They're called The Rise and Fall of New Jersey.
Damn.
And then and they're both more of the metalcore scene. And then I've been talking to Mick Michaels from Corners of Sanctuary now for probably a couple years, and I just couldn't get him on a bill somewhere, and we finally were able to pull it off. So Corners of Sanctuary will be on the bill tonight, and I cannot wait to see those guys because they are great.
Awesome. You sound like you're stoked. You're stoked for every show, I think, that comes in there. That's the thing about you too. You're a musician, you're a fan, you're a business owner, but you're a fan and you're a musician at heart. So it's like I know you get stoked for stuff, and especially like something like that where you've been waiting to try to get it for somebody for a while, and then it's like, I got you.
And Mick's really, really thrilled about, coming down, and they're coming from that Philly market, so it's a little bit of a drive down, but I know he's excited about it as well, and he seems like a great guy. We've talked on the phone, and I can't wait to meet him as well.
Cool. What else you got going on?
Let's see. I still have a lot of pool tournaments coming up and all that good stuff. I got a whole bunch of that going on. May's a little bit lighter for music. I had several bands that had dropped. There just seems some turmoil out here with some of the bands either not getting along or losing players. And I guess maybe this is a time of change, for some bands and stuff.
Right.
But in May, I have, again, I got a really good show coming up on the 21st. A nice mix of metal. It's Burned in Effigy out of New Jersey, Lost Continent out of Delaware, ZFL out of your neck of the woods down there, and Eyes of the Living. So that's going to be a banger, man. That's next month. And I can't wait for that one. That's going to be terrific as well. And then I got some really good stuff coming up later in the year, towards the end of the year. I just booked a show with a friend of mine who books out of Artie's Bar and Grill up in it's like northwestern New Jersey.
Gotcha.
And we're working. I'm sending him some bands. He's a really great guy, Joe Amabile. Easy to work with. I sent him some of my bands. He booked 2 or 3 of them. And he sent me a band called The Bunny the Bear out of New York, and they're a metalcore project, man. That is going to be a banger, man, and that's December 17th.
Cool. I love that you are out that far. You know what I mean? That again, that suggests the way things have, kind of turned around and come back around. So it's always good to see.
No doubt, man. I'm booking January and February now.
Good.
Especially if bands want Saturdays. I just don't have anything left. Good.
I got some stuff that's coming up in the works again that I want to talk to you about. Some stuff that just, a lot of things I think I want your advice on. Again, you're one of those guys that I trust. So if I throw something out to you, that you're going to give me to it straight. You know what I mean? And not pull any punches. So I'm looking forward to talking to you off air. And letting you know what I got brewing going on here in the next couple of months. But as always, brother, I appreciate your time. Again, it's Record Store Day. Everybody that's out there in the record store, why don't you plug your whole entire empire for those listening in the record store today, brother? Do it. Uh-oh.
Thanks for having me on, Will. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you a lot, brother, and I look forward to talking to you real soon, okay?
We'll catch up during the week, man.
Sounds good.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Peace.
Peace.
All right, that was Mr. Mark Ozella doing the halftime report. We do it on every show at the halftime point. We got a little bit of a headache today because we started late, but it's all good. The halftime sports bar and venue in Delaware. Great place to see a show. Mark does a great job at his business. Anybody in the area or not in the area, you just want to take a little road trip, go check out the halftime sports bar and venue. Great place to see a show. Great guy, great business, great everything. Support. All right, we're going to take a quick music break here. A couple songs. Starting out with, we don't have the newest Native Son song that's out, Drama, and I need y'all to go check that out. It's very, very cool. But we're going to do a song off the album that came out a little over a year and a half ago. And 2 songs after that, and we'll be back. Peace.
Supposed to be
my dashboard stacked. OT's duct tape on. Red is gonna lead the way today. 5 lanes and hurricanes. Black dog is rambling on. Ashtray is overflowing. And I've seen it all. Memphis at midnight. When John's owned and sold. Down at the crossroads. The universe is loud. 2 roses in Texas. That desert cold. Yes, Santa Fe at sunrise. Roll up a slip again, and the cold is creeping in. About an hour to the Sierra. Well, red on overload. Transmission's got to hold. Hell of a way to find the West Coast. And I've seen it all. Memphis at midnight. When shots sold and sold. Down at the crossroads. The universe is loud. 2 roses in Texas. That desert cold. Yes, Santa Fe at sunrise. And I've seen it all. Memphis at midnight. When shots sold and sold. Down at the crossroads. The universe is loud. 2 roses in Texas. That desert cold. Yes, Santa Fe at sunrise.
Right on, right on, right on. What the fuck is happening? So, interesting show so far. I'd like to take a minute to thank Mr. Ashton Blake of Native Sons for coming on the show today and hanging out and talking with us a little bit. Just love that guy, man. He seems a real genuine individual. We got about 40 minutes left of the show. We started a little late. We're going to run a little bit late. We're going to open up the phone lines again just because we had so much fun last time with it. 856-485-9565. That's the line to the studio if anybody wants to call in and tell me to go fuck myself or do whatever. I've managed to keep the cussing to a minimum, but I think we're getting to that point now where I think I need just to kind of release. So, Record Store Day people, turn me down. I'm giving you fair warning. If you want to leave me up, leave me up. But I'm just letting you know. But so here we go. I'm gonna take the last part of this show. I mean, as the calls come in, if we get any, we'll talk about that. But I want to talk about some interesting things that are going to go on. So listen, this show here that we're doing today, I've been doing pretty good doing it every other week the way I was originally planning on doing it, but I'm going to go on a little bit of a hiatus again for a bit. And the reason being a lot of things really. There's some vacation time that's coming up that kind of interferes with me doing a show on Saturday. And there's some other things, some shows, going to Wampus Cap for one, which I might do something live from there. I don't know just yet. But anyway, I'm going to take a month or so and be spotted when I do a show on here because I've gotten I alluded to it a little earlier in the show. I've got an opportunity to do something that's I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time. There are some things that have presented themselves to me in the last 48 hours that will help the future of Rock Metal Records. What I want to do with that as a label, and what I do with Rock Metal Radio as well. It encompasses everything RMR. Basically, I've been looking for a while and trying to figure out a way to have a brick and mortar, as you would say, a brick and mortar space to have Rock Metal Records, to have the label be a little bit more legit, at least in my eyes. I really don't, give too much of a fuck what other people think about it, but I want it to be semi-legit in my eyes in the way I do things. So there's a space that I've been looking at I was looking at it for a while, and it went off the market, and then it mysteriously popped back up again in the last couple of days, and I've been driving myself crazy, guys. I mean, just completely fucking nuts. It's going to be a really good opportunity for Rock Metal Records to be more of a footprint for all the things that I want to do with the label itself. It doesn't take away from anything, that I want to do with the radio show or anything I want to do with, occasional shows that I put on or anything like that. Those things will still happen. Maybe they'll be a little bit far. The shows might be a little bit less than normal or I would like, but in the end, it's going to be better for everything RMR. I believe it will, not only be benefit for my brand of RMR, but benefit for other brands as far as whether it be bands or promoters or whatever that I'm bringing into the fold or that I've already even brought into the fold so far. The people that are involved in RMR, they know who they are. I'll throw it out there again. It's RMR is a conglomerate, I guess is the right word. I mean, there's so many different words you could call it. It's a think tank. It's not a label in the traditional sense. But this will, again, if this goes through, this will allow me to solidify the label, which will give me a little bit more tenacity, I guess you could say, going forward with everything I want to do, just having a footprint that's not, I get that it's so much easier for, people to run a business or anything in their home these days and to do it electronically and to do it online, but I can't get away from a physical footprint to have. And as a record label, back in the day, you guys I refer to Berry Gordy and Motown a lot in some of the things they did. And of course, all the record labels were kind of like this back then, but still, Berry Gordy put the record label in a residential neighborhood. I mean, working out of houses, and, it was a physical footprint. It was like people in the neighborhood could see it. Talent in the neighborhood, if they thought they had talent and they thought that they had a place that they could go showcase that talent and maybe get a step ahead, you know what I mean? They would do that. It was right in their neighborhood. That's kind of what I'm getting back to with RMR. And again, I take a lot of stuff from Berry Gordy and I take a lot of stuff from what he did with Motown, because I really, really believe in the love and trust aspect of the way things he did and the way he made it work. So good things going forward, but I'm going to be tied up for a little bit, trying to make business deals that I know nothing about, and passion I got tenfold. Luckily I have some very good people that I surround myself with that do know, those sides of things that I don't know about a business, and they keep me level-headed. And going forward, I'm just trying to grow the brand of Rock Metal Records, whether it be Rock Metal Records, whether it be Rock Metal Radio, whether it be Rock Metal Revolution, whatever it is. Yes, there's a third RMR there that I mentioned. That's something that I've been working on for a long time to try to incorporate under the umbrella of RMR, and that's Rock Metal Revolution. That's something out there that, you all will, as it unfolds, you all will understand and know what it is and what I'm trying to do with it. But it's been an amazing ride this last year with really starting the radio show and then doing the record label and being fortunate enough to work with the artists that I work with. The first and foremost 86 Bullets, that without 86 Bullets having any interest in me helping them do anything, probably none of this would have happened as quick as it had. I mean, would I have gotten to it eventually? Maybe. I owe a lot to 86 Bullets and them kind of bringing me into their fold, and there's always a respect. I will always be that guy that pushes 86 Bullets. I will always be that guy that's trying to put them on shows and get them on shows, and they mean a lot to me, and it's through their visions of their music that I started creating my visions of RMR. So first and foremost, 86 Bullets is top on my list. Bands like Rat Rod and Indian Head and Smoking Crow, now the current project with the label. I mean, there's all these things that have been happening, and there's all these bodies that have been intricate parts of what I'm trying to put together and what I'm trying to do here. We talk a lot about the camaraderie that the scene has, that we talked a little bit about it with Ashton when we talk about the family, that the family of supporters that surrounds things like what I do at RMR or a BLE or an individual band project like Rat Rod or Indian Head or 86 or Smoking Crow or any of these things. That fan base wants us to have more. They want us to do better, because then they have more things to be involved in, and they have more things to go and see, and they have more moments in their life, quality moments of whether it be a show or just being involved with a local musician. And there's so many things from a fan standpoint. Again, I say it all the time, when you are willing to participate in somebody else's dream, man, that's worth its weight in gold, or it can't be measured in gold, or it can't be measured in this. I don't know what the analogy is, but man, when you have that, sky's the limit. You can start a brand. If you are true to who you are and what you do, and the people, understand that about you, they'll support you in what you do. Never forget, at the end of the day, your fan base is the most important thing you have. I don't care whether you're a musician or whether you're a fucking podcast jockey like myself, or, no matter what it is, support is extremely, extremely needed in life in general and everything you do. But when you're on a business venture, what you don't know, you find people in your circle already that do know and that are willing to help you out for the greater good. And Rock Metal Records was created to basically create creativity. It was meant to be not a traditional label. It was meant to be someplace that artists could come and hang out and meet people and conglomerate with people and do different things. So me taking this break is the next step in that. I'm going to, if I solidify this brick and mortar building, so to speak, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to I'm not going to play around anymore, y'all. I've been saying, recently to some people, they said, since you've come back from your treatments and all, you've seemed to, your passion's reignited. Well, I mean, it was never gone. I had a break there for a minute, but, since coming back from everything, I've described it as this. I have literally jumped in the car, turned the key, put my foot on the gas, and just motored. You know what I mean? And I get that, people say you should slow down a little bit here or there, and I get that. There's times to slow down, and I understand that. But at this point in my life, man, and at this point with what we want to do with RMR, I have got in the car, turned it on, hit the gas. If you got hit on the way by, you should have looked twice. I'm sorry. It's the cold, hard truth of it all. I'm I'm not pulling any punches anymore. I'm going to take a hiatus off the air for a little bit here. I'm going to get some things together. When I come back, it's going to be special to me. I hope it'll be special to some other people too. I appreciate all the love and support that I've had up to this point. It's been absolutely amazing. And I'm ready to take it to another level at this point. And I'm not doing it alone. Believe me, this ain't no one-man show. Granted, I'm probably the loudest one with the biggest mouth that uses the word fuck the most. But, there's a lot of things that go into this, that, again, things that I don't know. I've enlisted the help of people, again, Mark McCarty and Lil Jon from Rat Rod, very much part of what RMR is doing. Eric D from 86 Bullets, very much a big part of what RMR is doing. Smoking Crow has dove right in with the entire thing, everything they want to do, everything that we want to do with the label. We try to incorporate everybody we can that's family that wants to be a part of this and understands where it's going to go. And we're really, really excited. Again, this is so early on. This is why I kind of need to take a little hiatus and do some other things to make sure that, I mean, dude, I'll be honest with y'all. I've never been this close. Wow. Give me 1 second. I've never been this close to my dream. So, this makes for fucked up radio. But people have been fantastic, and the amount of love and support that I have is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So going forward, just know that things are going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, with a whole lot of fuckery going on, because that's who I am. That's fuckery has to be involved on some level, no matter what kind of project I'm involved in, or it just doesn't seem normal. But I'm good. Things are awesome. Things are looking up. Just know that this is a chance for me to really grab a hold of my dream and really make some good things happen and some good things come true. Not just for myself, but for a lot of people. And I'm looking forward to it immensely. And now that I'm all emotional and all fucked up about shit, I'm going to go ahead and end the show early. We don't have anybody calling or anything, right, Jamie? No calls? Cool deal. I've got a show to go to tonight with my wife, my beautiful wife. She is everything. Fuck, man. Tough Guy Radio. What the fuck happened to that? I just totally blew that all to shit.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, sure did. Baby, I love you. And I'll see you in a couple hours on my road rage, hopefully free trip home back down 95.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If I'm lucky. Jamie, thanks for hanging out with me today. Mike Francolino, as always, he was remote from home. Oh, shit. My fucking bad. Let's Mr. Mike Francolino, for those that don't know, is I'm hoping. Oh, I see he's on the back. Get your ass on camera. Bring it.
Oh,
yeah, bring that. Right, bring her right on. There we go. There we go. Hell yeah. This is where Mr. Mike has been the last couple of days. And he is, God, you look good, baby. You look good with that baby in your arms. You do. You got a mic? No mic?
She is crying up a storm right now, and I can't get her to stop. And Laura sadly is down and out, so she is helping me run the ship right now.
Nice. There's the new member of the Toxic family, you all. She is a.
This is actually her first Toxic Radio on screen debut.
Hey, gotta get her on it now, buddy. Yep. That's for sure. Look at her. She's beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
Yeah, there's Miss Lilith Rose Francolino.
Francolino.
Beautiful, isn't she?
I called her Baby Frank the other day to Mike. I was like, how's Baby Frank? But no, she's beautiful, man. She's beautiful. Congrats to Mike. And look, man, there is something about having a kid or even a grandkid, depending on where you're at in life. There's nothing. There is nothing like it. I mean, Jake, my boy's 6 now. My wife and I have 2 grown children that are in their 20s. But there's something special when a baby comes into a family, man. And when a baby is born into a family and then gets the extended family, which Baby Rose is getting right now. I mean, she's boom, first camera appearance, bang, she's on it, she's in it. You know what I mean? These are the things we cherish the most, y'all. And you know, I'm so happy for Mike. I'm so happy that he's a dad. I'm so happy for the family. Look. She's awesome. Ah, beautiful. That's the perfect note to end things on. That is the perfect note to end things on. Thanks to everybody again at Toxic Radio. Jamie, good job, brother, as always. You're becoming more of the A team back there. You're not necessarily the B team anymore. I don't think I'll hold you to the B team level anymore. I think you're up at that A team level.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nice, not a problem, dude. To everybody that's supported everything that we've done with RMR, hiatus for a little bit, popping in here and there, but I'm gonna come back. It's gonna be something fucking awesome, and I look forward to seeing you all. I look forward to sharing everything with you guys. In the meantime, love one another, help one another, and just don't be a fucking douchebag. Peace!